Hello, friends.
Okay, this is my dear friend Boris. Hi, honey.
Hello, darling.
How are you?
I'm happy that we made it.
I know.
So good to be here.
Boris and I first met when we did the remote from Vienna.
Yeah.
From that beautiful palace on New Year's Eve, doing the jewelry, and we didn't know a hair and makeup artist in Italy. And Swarovski, a very, very big company, is one of the companies that Boris has done work for, and he's produced television and done talent scouting and all kinds of stuff. He's not just a hair and makeup aficionado. He's one of the biggest guys around in Vienna. So we were really thrilled when he agreed to work with us. So that's the first time I met Boris, was when he did my hair and makeup in Vienna. We hit it off.
And
the rest is history. And then every year after that, when I went to Italy for the remotes, he would come over and do my hair and makeup.
And here we are.
Here we are.
And here we are. And here I am in a new, beautiful Lisa's world, I like to call it. It's a beautiful universe that you're creating, and I'm really delighted that I can witness that, and as a friend, and really see that you're just confirming that you're just absolutely incredibly capable of anything that you dream of.
Thank you.
And
so I have to say that Boris is one of the most entertaining people I've ever met, and I'm always so excited when he comes to visit. And he has. He's produced beauty over the years. He has one of the top makeup academies in Europe that he operates in a number of cities. And in the last number of years, he's actually been the creative director for Gotha Cosmetics, which is one of the most prestigious color houses and skincare houses in Italy.
I've been very privileged, and I really cannot, it's one of these things that, and it's really my everyday, my priority, my professional priority now. But I continue to pinch myself, because really to be part of that family and to be really in a very, very epicenter of the world on a global level, in a world of beauty, and have my little contribution and try to translate my dreams with amazing people that I'm surrounded with who translate the ideas into spectacular formulas, and really by the end of the day be at service to women, because what people like you and me do, we really just try to find the shortcut for them to empower themselves and to reach the level of beauty that is really going to significantly, and that is the beauty, change the quality of their lives.
Yes.
After all, I don't think of myself really as a makeup artist. It's not about exercise of what I can do, but it's really to be at service. We service women. And it's been my mantra since I do what I do, and it's been now 31 years professionally. I think every woman has two missions that were given to her. One is really the noble mission of maternity, of procreation and giving life and giving the gift of life. And the second one is to be really the most beautiful thing in the world, to make this world a more beautiful place. And it is a burden, it is a pressure. We live today in the time when women really are bombarded with images of very often unreal perfection, and they are under the pressure. Our job is to show them the shortcut, how to get there with the minimum of effort, to be as beautiful as they can be, consequently to be as powerful as they can be, because beauty is power, and it comes in all shapes and forms. You certainly have been amazing, really giving, being the guiding light and encouraging them and helping them how to find it. And now in this, as I call it, Lisa world, I think there is so much beauty to be found. You have to start doing something for boys, because we feel left behind. I see things that are beautiful, and if I was a girl, I would be so happily bankrupt.
Well, I have to say, there is an alpaca throw going home with you.
That one.
He immediately were downstairs, and he reached for it and went, oh my gosh.
I touched something, and it just uncontrollably, I just said, oh my God. I was not aware that I said it, but it was just, I knew that I touched perfection. It's like it's
that gray,
and that's beautiful when you
so
really
beautiful.
When you touch people, when you have people lose control. That's good.
That's good. That's good. All right, I'm going to go to my Facebook page. Come now. Oh, here we go. Okay. Hold on. I'm going to have to reboot it a little bit. Okay. There we go.
Of course.
So for some reason, my Facebook page is way behind. I don't even know. Here we are. Now we're up to date. Okay. Here you go. Oh, by the way, Davina says hello.
Hello. Hello, darling.
Beverly said that
What's
she's
happening?
seen him. She's seen you in New York with me because we've done pictures whenever you're in New York.
Exactly.
Yes. Krista would like to order a Boris. So would Nancy.
The good news is you can always send the goods back, and this one is really a bit outdated.
It's so not true.
You would ship me back so fast.
Not true. Not true. Nancy said handsome and humble. I would agree with that. Boris has always been very humble, I have to say.
I'm not dealing well with compliments, but I humbly take them and. But thank you. I mean.
Oh my gosh, you're so cute.
Let's go back to Lisa.
You are so funny. So right now you split your time between what cities?
Well, Italy has become home, Milan, because this is where.
Well, Bergamo, right?
Yeah, exactly, outside of Milan, where we work and dream up these things. So Vienna, that is officially my home, is the least of all, and the rest. I think the most fair answer is I live on the plane and at the airport.
No.
But and I'm very happy that I spend a lot of time here in US. So it's a lot of New York and West Coast as well, and because we are really privileged to work with so many amazing brands around the world, and we create so much. So we go and share and present.
When you talk about you're a production house.
Yes.
You create your own formulas and
Yes.
then you private label those for people.
Absolutely.
Sometimes people have you formulate things specifically
Or they
for
approach
them.
us with a specific brief and idea and wish that we try to translate
Mm-hmm.
in the formula. Nevertheless, we really tirelessly actually create 5 collections a year, which is like
Wow.
fashion world is spinning around 2, and the houses that do what couture would end up with 4. We actually have 5 collections.
Wow.
So it comes up to 150, 180 new formulas every
gosh.
year. It's a lot of pressure.
And that's
But
what are the range of products that you
we
guys
do
design?
everything except nail polishes and pencils. But we
When you
would
do color?
foundation. So that means foundations, powders, eyeshadows, lipsticks, lip glosses, mascaras, really anything that, as I said, except those 2. Wide range. We have more than at this point 1,600 formulas of really magic formulas, and as I said, we continue in collaboration with the world trend forecasting agencies. Fashion world usually happens 6 months ahead of time. They show
Right.
collection in 6 months. You're going to see it in the shops.
But
We work. It's a much longer and much more meticulous work and tedious sort of journey to get to a product, usually year and a half, 2 years.
isn't that amazing?
Ahead
That's
of
how
time.
long it takes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There are so many details that I really don't want to bother people with, but it's a very fascinating world. And by the time one lipstick arrives in the shop and ends up really in your hand and on your lips, it's a long journey and a lot of work. But it's beautiful, and certainly be part of it is a privilege. But as I said, we have so much to do before we reach ladies.
Yeah. Oh my, it's amazing, and it's so interesting because Boris is flying around the world and he's doing presentations in Korea, and he's doing presentations in Europe, and he's doing presentations in the United States and Dubai. He's constantly on a plane. It's just amazing.
This year, I found myself in 48 hours on 4 continents. I've done in 48 hours New York, Milan, Dubai, Seoul.
In 48 hours?
Literally.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I didn't manage to work and all that, but I really kind of did it. And then a few days later, I made kind of a round around the world. So I flew from Seoul back to LA, and I actually landed after 12 hours in the air before I even took off. Time spins, body, like everything, because I literally landed before my departure time was in Korea.
Wow.
So it's a lot of confusion for brain, but it's a fabulous. It's a
I hope you
fantastic-
sleep on planes, that's for sure.
Yeah, I sleep wherever you put me at this point.
Oh, by the way, I want to say a quick hi to Marissa, because evidently she was a very good girl this year, and Santa delivered. So that's what you get for behaving yourself, or at least pretending to in public, Marissa, and that's all that matters. Don't forget that. Oh, wait. Nancy thinks that you need her. Do you, Nancy?
Nancy,
wait for it. Wait for it. Nancy wants to.
Nancy.
Nancy has the bouncy
we're live,
house
and I'm
that
nervous.
looks like something from Dr. Seuss. My gosh.
Sweetheart, can we deal with this?
Oh
please?
my gosh. So, by the way, somebody was asking about Albany. I just want to let you know, she's gonna be starting her own Facebook page soon, so you can ask her things there. She's a little bit busy right now, but she's doing great. Yes, Katie is my assistant. Nancy is the third leg of our stool here in our little company, and then actually it's four because our chief of staff I don't actually pay, but she helps us out anyway. So there's four of us. Nancy said, by the way, that you have swag, meaning swagger.
Is
cool
that
dude.
Nancy at
Very
home
cool.
or our Nancy?
Nancy at home.
Hello, Nancy.
I know. No, Boris has amazing style. And it's so funny because whenever he buys something new, it's always something that has a little bit different to it, but still really cool, always in black.
Yeah, it's simple.
Yeah.
I mean, like I'm really black and white and I'm obsessed with gray and stuff. But I mean, boys are very often left behind. You girls, it's all about, girls really can enjoy, and thank God, rightfully so, we celebrate you women in every possible way. But we are kind of left behind. I'm trying just to break that boredom. And
well, maybe you can help us design some things for the men.
I would be so happy to.
Ooh, that'd be really fun, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, we just came up with an idea.
Bonus! We're going to work on some men's stuff with Boris.
Absolutely.
Yes. By the way, one of the times recently when we were in Italy, Katie and I were there, and we went out to Bergamo to visit Boris, and we went to visit him in this little apartment that you tell them about where you live in Bergamo because it's amazing.
Well, I mean, fascinating. It's just obviously, first of all, I'm lucky to live in one of the most beautiful countries in the world.
Like a story.
And this is the most magic corner of it, just outside of Milan, and with incredible history. But I mean, the house that I live in a 14th century city palace. The country, your country, is pretty much younger than the house that I live in. And in the courtyard we have, and it really, not that it happens in the courtyard of every house, but in Italy it's almost normal. There is actually, it's recognized as a national treasure. There is a tomb of a 2,000-year-old tomb of an old Roman Empire soldier.
Oh.
Yeah. And the well, obviously,
Right.
from the 14th century,
Right.
You've seen it. Yeah, it's just that you find these amazing pieces of history scattered around, even, obviously, even like, people's homes. I mean, it's not a...
So the part of Bergamo that Boris lives in is the historic part. And you drive up the mountain, and if you are in Bergamo, the city, the modern city, you look up
Bergamo,
and you'll see the village.
Città Alta.
Oh, yes.
It's magic. It's a postcard. It's surrounded with 15th century Venetian walls. It used to be part of the Venetian Republic.
Amazing.
It's just an extraordinary history to it, and it's a joy to be able to live there.
I love it.
I love
And it
my
has a
view.
beautiful view.
Mhm.
We're looking at the view of the sunset when we were there.
Yep.
And you walk these little cobblestone streets, just winding around, and there's all these amazing, magical little restaurants and shops, and the people are all just walking and enjoying, and there's families, and it's amazing.
The very best way to spend the money is on Lisa's World and Lisa's Magic, gorgeous things. If not, put pennies on the side and save up and come over to Italy.
Yes, absolutely.
That's a money well spent.
I would love...
It's a birthplace of all the gorgeous things that Lisa does. Most of it, all
most
of
of
it.
it. Most
But
of
there
it.
you go.
Not all of it, but most of it.
Yeah.
I would love to just rent a little apartment in Bergamo for a week and just
You're
relax.
welcome. We found it already.
And yes, we've already found the apartment.
We found it
When
already.
we were there, we met Boris's friends who rent the apartment out.
I used to live in that house
Mhm.
for a year.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I have a place I can stay if I arrange in advance. Oh my gosh. So it's just, Regina's asking if Boris can do a special lip color for me. Well, we've worked on a few things, but I have to say color, sorry, my contact's moving around. Color has been, there's just been so many other things going on that
We'll
there hasn't
hopefully
even
get
had
there.
time to.
I mean, it's a beautiful idea, and
yeah.
I think it's only natural that you one day
Yeah.
have your own makeup line, but one thing at a time, one fabulous necklace at a time, and then we'll get to
Gayla said you're the total package. You're going to have to read all these later, honey.
I don't think I can manage.
I think you're blushing.
Then I'm blushing completely, and and then I'll think that I'm something that I'm not. Don't
God,
feed
you're so
my
adorable.
ego,
I can't even
please.
stand it.
I mean, at my age, I humbly take any compliment I can get because it's always welcome. But let's be realistic.
Oh my
let's
God,
be realistic.
you're
But
so
thank you,
funny.
thank you very much.
So funny. It is so funny because to tell you a little bit of a risque story. So the first time that I met Boris, this is going to be a little crass, and I'm going to warn you in advance, but I thought it was fun. So the first time that I met Boris,
Are you quoting yourself?
Yes.
Good.
Yes, only me, darling. I would not.
Okay.
I wouldn't.
No,
embarrass you.
yeah. This is a family show, so we can quote me anyway. That's good.
He's doing my makeup, and there are just certain things that every woman likes to do in her makeup a certain way. Whether they are right or wrong is not the question. The question is it how I am used to seeing myself?
Absolutely.
Well, that's me when it comes to lip liner. You may love it or you may hate it, and you're completely entitled to your opinion on my lip liner. Don't share it with me, but you're completely allowed to have it. Because for me, I like to have my lip liner a certain way. And so whenever I work with my makeup artist here, that was Eva, I would always, do my own lip liner. And so then I'm working with Boris, and it is a little bit of a sensitive subject, and it can be a little insulting if a makeup artist is doing your makeup, depending on the makeup artist, to say, I'd like to do my own fill in the blank.
But I personally always respect that, because really you have to be comfortable. You have to feel good and better about yourself once you leave my chair. So I allow everybody that space.
Well, this is the moment that Boris and I knew we were going to be fast friends.
That it was meant to be.
Yes. So he's doing my makeup, and I said, excuse me, can I do my own lip liner? And in traditional Boris fashion, well, fine, darling. And so I took the lip liner and I said, because I like to make it look like I could set the car off a tailpipe, and no self-respecting makeup artist is going to do that for me. And his eyes got this big. He looked at me and goes, oh my God, that's hysterical. I can't believe I did that.
It's one of the most beautiful.
Oh my gosh, we were laughing so hard. And everybody was wondering what the world was going on in the dressing room, because we were laughing, just screaming hysterically.
I've never heard it before. I've never heard it after, I have to say.
So that's when we knew.
But I knew that's my girl. That's my girl. That was meant to be. There was no way back.
So,
I was hooked. That was fantastic.
After that, it's all good. It's all good.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. I love it. You really have to go back and read all these. They're awesome.
Are you sure?
Okay, so the
I don't have my glasses, and I'm glad that I have them somewhere
What's
here.
the ad campaign with the most interesting man in the world? What there's it's a beer, and the character is the most interesting man in the world. Well, one of our good friends here, Keith, believes that you look like that guy, because he wants you to say, "Stay thirsty, my friends," which is the line that character always says.
Stay thirsty, my friends.
See, you even do
How am I
with
doing?
more.
Am I
you
all right?
do with more savoir-faire than he does.
I don't drink beer, but I'll do anything
Oh
for
my
Lisa.
gosh. Laura, thank you for thinking that's funny, because I tend to think that those kinds of things are funny. Not everyone does. Laura thought our bonding was funny.
No, absolutely.
Oh my gosh. So funny. It is one of those things where one of the things that I always, think is such a blessing is to have friends from different parts of the world, because it gives you a view into how other countries look at things and how other people think. So I always loved getting Boris's take on things as the years have gone by, I have to say. And sometimes you just look at it from their point of view and go, okay, that wasn't really that smart on our part. And sometimes you look at it from their point of view and go, yeah, but what about this? And then it'll change his mind. So
No, exactly. I mean, first of all, I really get to, as I travel, for me it's really extraordinary to see and to try to understand at least the world in general and stuff. I certainly personally am very opinionated, and I don't, that very
that's
well.
That's why we get along.
Exactly. For better or worse. And so it's I love exchanging opinions, and I certainly, I try to be, I'm passionate about anything I do, so I really believe in things that I believe in and stand up for them and stuff. But it's always interesting to exchange, as long as we express ourselves. I believe in self-expression. By the way, makeup and everything that you do,
all self-expression.
it's about style. Is after all the most extraordinary sophisticated way of communication, a very subtle way when you can really impact people without words, without really necessary obvious actions, but you influence how people experience you and immediately how they respond to you. So makeup, or in general style, and all the details that now you're offering to people are basically wonderful tools of self-expression.
And that, it is one of those things where I think in so many cases we've become a society where women don't take any effort at all in how they present themselves to the world, and then they wonder why the world doesn't perceive them as they think they should. Why don't people respect me? Why don't people respond to me in the way that I think they should? And one of the things I've always loved about Italian women is that Italian women don't look at one version of beauty and say, well, I wasn't born that. Oh, well, that's it. Can't do it. Italian women, each woman develops her own style on her own strengths and her own weaknesses and her own sense of self, and she just works that style. And it doesn't have to be genetically perfect. It's beautiful because it's confident and it's feminine and it's strong and it's amazing. And the imperfection that they choose to embrace about themselves is often the most beautiful thing about them. And it's one of the things that I love about Italian women, and I would love if in the United States we could have more of that. You don't have to be a genetic mutant. You don't have to be born perfect. 1 out of a million people are born perfect. The rest of us would have no luck.
I mean, you and I could do more than one long chat.
Well, you should
about
come
this.
back.
I would be happy to, because really, I really have quite a few things to say about it, because I devoted myself in my professional life to women, and I think I learned quite a lot along the way, and I think I'm a good ambassador for their sort of needs. And actually, at this point in my life, I'm really trying to give back and try to support them as much as I can, really, by doing what I do. But the point is, just a few things. First of all, I'm very happy to say we live today in the era of individuality. So we really have finally stopped, and I hope that people will definitely stop trying to look like somebody else or try to only follow one ideal. Previous decades had ideals of beauty that somehow, when you look at the family pictures before, you could tell mothers or grandmothers in what year or what decade they were taken, because people just really followed that one look, whether it was hair or makeup or female silhouette, color palette or whatever. We don't do this anymore. We reach out and we look for the ways of self-expression, and one thing is important, really, and I think it's always much more important to be original and like no one else, even when it's less perfect. After all, the traditional maybe definition of beauty always comes with some sort of, let's call it, expiry date.
Yes.
I always keep thinking that it's much more important in life to be fascinating than beautiful, because hopefully charismatic and fascinating people only gain with age. And one other thing that really I try to pass on to women, because not necessarily everybody has heard it, but already in the 70s, one extraordinary lady, actually, Principessa Borghese, who in the 70s, when she launched a line of lipsticks, actually said something really, really brilliant. And she said, there are no unattractive women in the world. There are only women who don't know themselves enough.
I love that.
And I love it, and it's stuck with me, and I try to pass it on to women, because there is always something that each one of you will have at least one thing, if not more, that is truly beautiful. And there is one card, and it's your winning card, that you play, and it's always going to work into your benefit, and you will capture attention and you will mesmerize. And that the rest, it's not, definition of beauty doesn't really exist. The only one I believe in is that beauty is harmony. Wherever there is harmony, there is beauty. And that means that it can be a lot of imperfect elements, but harmoniously and happily living together. So don't cry over the fact that your nose is not as perfect or your lips are not as full. Doesn't matter. Just there is beauty there, and as I said, as long as I try to really open women's eyes and make them understand and make them find their own beauty and make them fall in love with themselves, as they very often forget to, because they prioritize, wonderful enough, family, work, and other things. But I really think that each one of us, but especially women, really need a healthy dose of self-love. And it's an investment in the morning of 10-15 extra minutes of love, where you will choose what you're going to wear today and add that little extra, just concealer and lip gloss and mascara, and your favorite pair of earrings, and still, slip on your comfortable jeans, but you will show that you care and you love yourself. In response, people will have no choice but look up. And again, it goes back to that communication that we just consciously or subconsciously basically do when we do these things. So invest those 10-15 minutes. You will be just as good mother and just as good wife anyway, even if you steal those 15-20 minutes for yourself.
I think probably better.
Because
you feel stronger
in response,
all day, and then you
and
just
the kids will say, "Mommy,
cope
you're
with
beautiful."
things better and handle things better.
And the husband will keep falling in love again and again and again. I have received a lot of bottles of champagne and flowers and chocolates because I took time with women and I explained them and I did the makeup and I sent them home, and they would come back and say, "My husband fell in love with me again, thank you."
Oh.
And women, I have to say one thing, this is a tricky one, but women fall in love with men for different reasons that necessarily men fall in love with women. They need to be constantly, and I can speak for my own kind and take full responsibility for it. Men have a shorter memory span. They need to be reminded constantly why they fell in love with you. It's an extra job.
Yeah.
But girls, don't forget that.
I love that.
It's important, and it's reality.
Boris, I'm afraid that your presence is going to be demanded back here.
I will so happily come back.
And you know what would be really fun is if at some point we could find a way for you to show us some makeup tips too.
But of course, we can do like a little makeover and share some favorite
I think
tips.
that would be amazing. Yeah.
It'll take a little bit more of preparation. We'll do it. I'm so happy that we managed this one, and that the timing was good.
It took an act of God.
But we made it, and as I said, I think it's good that we broke the ice, and I would be so happy to come back.
I would love that.
Let's do it.
This is my friend Boris. Isn't he amazing?
My darling Lee.
I love Boris.
I'll come back anytime.
So we'll have Boris back again, but I think you can see
Hopefully.
why I love him so much. I love his view of the world. I love his view of people. I love his view of beauty. I just love so many things about the way that he looks at life, and it's one of the reasons I always enjoy seeing him. So we'll have Boris back at another time. I want to remind you that tomorrow is our last 12 Days of Christmas Boutique at noon Eastern Time. After that, we're going to go back to one item a day for a little bit and kind of see how things go. I do want to let you know that the lanterns are coming up at some point this week. If we can get the long cross, my favorite Italian cross, back for you, we'll let you know in the evening on that one. And there is a special bracelet coming up in the next few days that we haven't really told you about, but you're really going to like. So make sure and stay tuned. Also want to remind you that there are a number of great pieces left on our website, because we've had a lot going on in the last week and a half. So thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow at noon. Ciao.